What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today, BCH USD. It is the 28th day of December. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. Here we are, my friends, with about 7 hours and 40 minutes left in the day, sitting here at $630. We've got some very bullish things to talk about, some very bullish prospects, and some ideas here. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it. First and foremost, I want to say that I was wrong, right? And who cares, right? The amount of wrong that we were is not that much. But back here on Friday, I was expecting that Saturday and Sunday, because it's the weekend, I was assuming that we'd move down, right? The rest of the market over the past couple of days has kind of just moved sideways, right? Not really moved down at all, but it's the weekend. We moved up a little bit. We sold off on Friday. I thought that we'd come back down, you know, maybe below 580, maybe even below this low, but still a higher low throughout this whole dynamic anyways. And we didn't. We just kept pushing, which is very, very bullish, my friends. We're at $630 right now. And I'm taken back to this thought that I had on Friday, which was, you know, we were looking at the monthly time frame, and on Friday, that close was at like $597 or $94. It was like right here. On that day, I remember we were looking at the monthly time frame like we are now and seeing that this candle here was actually down at this line. We were closing above here. In this 6-month consolidation phase we've been in, we were finally looking like, I mean, we've only got 3 days left in this month. At that point, we had 5 days left. We were finally looking like we were breaking out of this range, and that was exciting. And I remember at this line saying, wouldn't it be nice if by the end of the month we closed above here? We didn't just break out of this range, but we closed above this monthly close. Well, here we are, 2 days later. This is, you know, it's still a far ways away. That's still $679. We're at $630. But one good day is all it takes, man. I mean, there's a strong chance here. There's a stronger chance that we don't close above this high, but there's still a pretty damn strong chance that we could see the highest monthly close that Bitcoin Cash has seen throughout this whole bull market since 2022. Or I guess that'd be the highest monthly close since 2021 in April, guys. But even if we close here, or we close at the white line or just below the white line, we close somewhere around this area, we're still getting the second highest monthly close that we've had this whole bull cycle, and breaking out of this range, right? That's bullish. That has a lot of bullish implications. I'm taken back looking at this here. I've been in the crypto market since 2015. This is my third bull market, okay? So I have a little bit of a memory. I live in Colorado. We've got some forgetful herbs here that don't help with your memory, if you get my drift. But even with the partaking of these herbs or not, my memory is still somewhat decent, right? I remember a time in the last cycle and the cycle before my first cycle. I remember during the bull markets, we would have moments where Bitcoin was pumping over the weekend. And we would leave CME gaps as a result of that. And people thought that we'd fill these gaps, but we never did. There's gaps at 20K, there's gaps at 15K, there's gaps at 30K, 70K, all this stuff. And we never filled them, right? And those gaps happen only, well, most of the time, typically, when we are, whenever it's weekend price action. Most of the time, for most of Bitcoin's life, crypto's life, Bitcoin Cash's life, when we see pumps over the weekend, that typically promotes dumping over the week. If we see dumps over the weekend, we see pumps over the week. Typically, that's what happens. The weekend is a lie, the week is the truth. It's kind of how it is. But in full bull market times or full bear market times, you make movements over the weekends. Again, this is something that I don't think most people talk about or maybe are even aware of, but this is something that I've just noticed and I remember throughout the past couple of cycles. I remember this behavior. Let's actually go back and I'll prove it to you real quick, okay? Let's go back to last cycle, okay? This last cycle here, when we were really, really, really starting to take off, right? It was here. It was October 2020. Okay, we're on the daily time frame. I'm going to use the cyclical lines here, and we will look for our weekends. Okay, so here's Saturday. Okay, Saturday, Sunday here we did not pump. Saturday, where's the next Saturday? Right here. Okay, so whoops. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. We'll just take that one away. We'll do this. Okay, cool. We'll take that off. That way I don't draw more. Okay, here over the weekend you moved up on Saturday, moved down on Sunday. Not really much movement there. Not much movement there either, right? Not a whole lot of movement here. Here, Saturday, Sunday, you moved up. You didn't fill that gap. Here, Saturday, Sunday, you moved up. And then you had a very bullish week, right? Here, Saturday, Sunday, you were moving sideways. You didn't move up, so you consolidated, right? Here, Saturday, you moved up. Sunday, you even moved up and you pulled back, but you continued to pump afterwards, right? Notice how this consolidation wasn't that long. You actually consistently moved up. Here, Saturday, Sunday, you pumped. Monday, you did dump back. Technically, you did fill that gap there, but you still continued to rally. But do you see this phase here, right? Pretty slow, pretty slow, right? Then we start pumping over the weekends. Then we start pumping over the weekends. We start pumping over the weekends. We start pumping over the weekends. Do you see it? Do you see it? Am I making sense? Right? Here, Saturday, Sunday, we didn't really pump over the weekend at all. Here we didn't. We're at the end of the bull market here. Here we pumped over the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, we did pump, and we continued. We continued moving up, right? And now we're at a different, now we're not in the bull market anymore. Or are we still in the bull market? Technically, you're not in the bull market here. But here, Saturday, Sunday, you pumped, so you continued moving up. Do you see it? Saturday, you didn't pump. Sunday, you kind of pumped, but that's neutral. That might not count as much. It's not perfect, and not every time, but Saturday, Sunday, you pumped there. But in this bull market dynamic, that's pretty... It's not common. It's still not common, but it does happen. Bitcoin Cash, we're talking about Bitcoin here. Bitcoin Cash, this is the purpose of this video, has been pumping over the weekends, guys. It has been. And the only reason I'm talking about this is because, again, on Friday, I thought that we'd dump. It's the weekend, we're going to dump back. So then because I was wrong, I'm like, well, screw it. I'm going to look at the data here and just see, should I have considered that before making that decision? I should have because, here's Saturday, Sunday, we did dump back. But let's just see, where was it? Saturday here, we pumped. We actually pumped on Saturday. We consolidated afterwards, but then we moved back up. We've had, let's see, Saturday, Sunday here, we pumped, right? We've had moments where over the weekend, Saturday we dumped a little bit, Sunday we pumped. We've actually, the weekends for Bitcoin Cash, again, not always, it's not the common thing, but lately have been more bullish and less neutral than what the average crypto is seeing. And it just makes me reminisce with these times when we are literally in peak bull market behavior for Bitcoin and for crypto as a whole. So the thought that I'm trying to offer there, here we are, Saturday, Sunday, we've been moving up. That's always boded well for Bitcoin in prior bull markets. I shouldn't say always boded well. It depends on how you do it. With sizable movements like this, it bodes well. If it's like slight movements up, like it's just a slight movement up like this, it's not the same thing. But like this, 10% over the weekend or more, that's nice. That's good, right? Or like 6% over the weekend or more, that's good. How much should we move up? We move up 7% overall. That's not bad. I'm just saying this has me reminiscent. We're moving up here with a steady pace, and we're at higher highs over the weekend. Where normally a bullish weekend, you might anticipate that we go lower. In this extremely bullish environment that we're in this breakout phase right here, where we are literally getting ready to close the second highest monthly close that we've seen this whole cycle. And with that, we will effectively be breaking out of this range here. With that, we will effectively be commencing our breakout of this range here. I can't help but get a little bit giddy, but get a little bit excited at seeing this weekend pump. That's all I'm saying. We're at $630 now. We look at the 1 hour time frame here. We zoom in a little bit. You can see we have, I wouldn't call this bearish divergence. It has that look, right? You've got these lower highs, but it's a higher high here. It's a higher high here. You've got two higher highs versus one lower high. I don't think it's bearish divergence. I think that you got into the overbought zone, you came out. Sure, you can cool off a little bit. Maybe you cool off a little bit. We come back down to 620, but we're probably not going to go too much lower. MACD looks bullish. Stochastics look bullish. We look at the 4 hour time frame, and we've got some bullish or bearish divergence here. Technically, we actually do have bearish divergence here. We have a lower high and another lower high. That is double bearish divergence, which is good enough, technically, not financial, it's not a financial advisor, to pull back to $609. That might be exactly what we do. We have moved up over the weekend. Maybe we start off Monday, we pull back a little bit, but then we move up. I do expect from here, looking at this, even with my whole bullish rendition of the weekend in mind, $630 now, we probably do pull back below 610 and then move up again. We might back test $600 for support because we found so much resistance at that level. Back test that for support, and then we launch. 4 hour MACD has bearish divergence. 4 hour RSI and stochastics have bearish divergence. We probably see a pullback over the next day or two, probably. But we're very bullish overall. Very, very bullish overall, my friends. I believe that we have higher to go, absolutely, and in a very short amount of time. Daily MACD's building bullish momentum, dying bearish momentum. Stochastics are bullish as hell, and the RSI isn't even overbought yet. We bounced off the 50. I told you guys that from here, if we bounce, the next attempt up here should take us to the overbought zone. We get to the overbought zone, we are likely breaking out of this overall range. And if we're breaking out of this range, we're breaking out of this range. If we're breaking out of this range, we're breaking out of this range, right? We're breaking out of that. So it's all dependent on this next move that we see into the overbought zone. Is that going to be here? Statistically speaking, the odds are pretty damn good that it is. Like this next week or two, If not the very final days of December, the very opening days of January, we should be pushing above $700. Maybe even $800. But if it's not here, we consolidate again, it will be the next time. If it's not here, I'd be very surprised, but it's just a matter of time. And being on the daily time frame, a couple weeks from now, we should be moving up higher. I've got nothing else. A couple weeks at the latest, we should be moving up higher. If not next week, we should be having some sizable moves. Next week, we'll probably close above $700 or $800. Shit's going to happen very fast, guys. Mark my words. Get into Bitcoin Cash now. Get your friends, your family into Bitcoin Cash before it's too late. Because this boat is about to take off, man. This rocket ship is about to launch through the stratosphere, and it's never coming back. You will never again see prices below $700 for as long as you live once we cross that threshold, once we break out of here. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.